So welcome to the miracle work. The chapters 4 and 5 is what we're dealing with at this point. And it's amazing that you're here and that you entered into this place where we can actually communicate. That's wild. That's totally lovely. So the love that I'm feeling is it's really overwhelming, and it's overwhelming. I love that. I love that. I love to be overwhelmed with love, you know. And who's the cause of that? That's you. That's you. I love that. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I really thank you. Really thank you. Yeah, where to start with that? I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah. So I went into chapter 4 as we speak, like as you can say it. I went into chapter 4 and say recovered one of my favorite expressions that I kept with me for a very long time, and apparently it's still with me, which is so great. So I love to share that with you, and I made it visible too, so I'll share that with you too. So this is what I remembered. I am here only to be truly helpful. I'm here to represent Christ who sent me. I do not have to worry about what to say and what to do, because the one who sent me will direct me. I'm content to be wherever he wishes, knowing he goes there with me. I will be healed as I let him teach me to heal. So I love this. I love this. I'll repeat it once more. So this is really like my morning mantra, if you want. It's like my morning mantra. I'm here to be only truly helpful, and I have no idea what that means, but I'm here to represent Christ who sent me. I do not have to worry about what to say and what to do. That's really great, because the one who sent me will direct me. So I'm content to be wherever he wishes, knowing he goes there with me. Well, yeah, that's a real sense of support that I feel. I will be healed as I let him teach me to heal. Yes, absolutely. So this is my declaration for this morning, or this today. And it's in fact how I love to start my day always, because this has brought me exactly where I find myself, and it's exactly what I want, you know. So it's all in here. Yes, 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 yes. No need to worry. Wherever I am, I am. I'm not alone in that. I'm always supported. I'm always, I always have company. There's always one walking with me. Always. And I don't need to worry about anything. Not what I say, what I do, what I eat, where I think I have to be. None of that. So you could say like this is like a declaration of salvation. This sets you free from any kind of concern, and it's lovely to start your day with it. So I'll bring this back in the next couple of meetings that we have, because it's such a great tool to work with, so to speak. And that's why I needed to share it right away. I love this. So this is where we start. And so what is next? So what are we going to do in chapter 4? It's like, it's not really that we go through chapter 4 in a sense, but it's actually about that what speaks to us in chapter 4 is resonating with us, because it's say actually resonating with us right now. That's why it comes up. So it must tell you something about what's occurring for you in this moment, or in the last couple of days, or you feel that yes, this is happening, and this is exactly what I feel. So this is how I approach it, you could say, or this is how I look at it, how I study it, but it's not really study, it's really like a resonance that happens. It's like, oh yes, absolutely. And I do this in the preparation, but now it's like presenting this to you. It is sharing, recognizing, listening for myself at the same time. So what am I trying to say here? What I wrote down, or what I collected on the sheets that you're seeing, some of it will resonate now too, like it did when I prepared the sheets. Or it might not, and which is fine too. But there will be something speaking to us. And that's always like totally amazing to me how that works. So I cannot wait to take a look at what I collected here, to see what's in my backpack, and share that with you. So this one we got, the only sane solution. Now that's interesting. If we can find that, it would be great. The only sane solution. Oh yeah, now I remember. Once again, Jesus says, once again. And you might as well notice this. Nothing you do, or think, or will, or make is necessary to establish your worth. And this is in fact how I started this moment together. It's like the overwhelming love is just there, and you're the cause of it. You're the cause of the overwhelming love that I'm experiencing. So your worth is established. Nobody has anything to say about that, not even you. There's nothing you can do, think or will or make or try or whatever that is necessary to establish your worth. Like, that's a given. It's not debatable, like we see in the next. This point is not debatable, except in delusions, of course. Like in delusions, you have the freedom to deny this. But that's insane, because it has nothing to do with the truth. So here we are. So your worth is established. Now that has a lot of consequences, because it might be very useful. So like I said, the fact that your worth is already established, you have nothing to say about it, and you can do whatever you want, but that's not going to change, except in delusions, in fear, nightmares, whatever, sure. But the fact that this is so has a lot of consequences. Because look at what you're doing, what you're trying to do, what you're trying to accomplish, what you're trying to confirm to yourself. So we're talking here about dissolving an inferiority complex or a superiority complex. And who doesn't have a part of it? Like, so this is about you right now. You recognize this. Oh no, that's not for me. I'm in my subconscious or even conscious attitude. You say confuse your humility with inferiority. That can be, huh? That can be. So there's no need for that. In other words, and this is another way of saying it, it is like you don't have to prove anything to anyone. Well, see how much dissolves what you normally do and what you never ever have to do again. Because when you try to prove your worth, what are you doing? You're denying it. You're denying your worth. You say like, I have to prove it because it's not set yet. It's not complete yet. And that's insane. So recognizing your worth would be like top priority. It would take away so much effort and so much doing and so much making and so much, I don't know. You give me some words for that. Like that is all just in the way to recognize the worth of you. Now this overwhelming love that I started with is a confirmation of your worth. I recognize your worth and the worth in myself at the same time. So it's like that's the language in which your worth is established. If you were created out of love, you cannot be anything else. So don't try to be anything else. There's no need for it. And that's a very difficult assignment, I know that. But it's so worth it to practice it. It's so worth to take time to go to the bottom of that and really feel that for yourself. You know, that's so lovely. So that's so great. Yeah, so okay, let's see what's next. So there was a really essential one. I remember that. Once again, nothing that you do, think, or will, or make is necessary to establish your worth. This point is not debatable except in delusions. Your ego is never at stake because God did not create it. Your soul is never at stake because God did create it. So any confusion on this point is a delusion, and no form of devotion is possible as long as this delusion lasts. Any confusion on this point is a delusion, and no form of devotion is possible as long as this delusion lasts. So if you think, in other words, like your ego is never at stake because God did not create it. So if you think you have to lose something by one of your, say, ego manifestations of yourself, your image of yourself, your existence that you see as yourself, your relationships that you see as part of you, your whatever. Like if you think you can lose that, if you think that that is debatable, like that is, you might lose that. It's like, well, this is not what this is about, because God did not create it in the first place. It has yeah. It is not. It's not a deal, so to speak. But your soul is never at stake because God did create that. So if you think you can lose your soul, that you can lose the qualities of the soul, which is joy itself, which is the radiant joy that is you, if you think you can lose that, then you're deluded, because you cannot. So you could say, like with the ego, nothing is lost by leaving it for what it is, by letting it go, by seeing it dissolve, by all of this. And your soul is always present, and you cannot lose it at all. And why is that so important? So any confusion on this point is a delusion, and no form of devotion is possible as long as this delusion starts. If you still are afraid of losing your image, because you think it is a necessary part of you, then you're going to have a hard time. Then you are probably busy protecting yourself and keeping your image up and going. So there's no form of devotion possible. Devotion to your brother, devotion to God. Like, that is not possible because you're in fact only busy with your own self-image. So next then is this. The only, and this is really lovely too, I remember it now. The only sane solution is not to try to change reality, which is indeed a fearful attempt, but to see reality as it is, to see it as it is. The only sane solution is not to try to change reality, which is indeed a fearful attempt, but to see it as it is. You are part of reality, which stands unchanged beyond the reach of your ego, but within easy reach of your soul. You're part of reality, which stands unchanged beyond the reach of your ego, but within easy reach of your soul. Now here, practicality, like when you are afraid, so this is really when you try to change reality. When you are afraid, be still and know that God is real and you are His beloved Son in whom He is well pleased. Just do that. Be still and know that God is real and that you are His beloved Son in whom He is well pleased. This is where you find your peace. This is where all attempts to change reality end, and where you recognize that you're part of it, part of reality, instead of something that is on the way to become it or something. Be still and know that God is real and you are His beloved Son in whom He is well pleased. The biblical quotation should read, "In this world you need not have tribulation, because I have overcome the world. That is why you should be of good cheer." So this is like 180 degrees turnaround. Like, in this world you need not have tribulation, because I have overcome the world. This is what Jesus actually said. But by the establishment, the religious establishment, it was changed in this world you need to have tribulation. And it's like, no, in this world you need not have tribulation, because I have overcome the world. That's why you should be of good cheer. Now that's a great one too. I love that. I'll come back to that in a second. Your own worth is not established by your demonstration, by your teaching, by your what you say and what you share. Your own worth is not established by your teaching. Your worth was established by God. And that's taken care of, a done deal. It's set. As long as you dispute this, everything you do will be fearful, and particularly any situation which lends itself easily to the superior-inferior fallacy, or complex, that as I said it. Like, as long as you dispute this, as long as you don't accept this but start to discuss it, discuss your own worth, everything you do will be fearful, and particularly any situation which lends itself easily to the superior-inferior fallacy. Now this is a really great part too, you know. Whoop. I'm sorry for that. Teachers must be patient and repeat their lessons until they are learned. Okay. I'm willing to do so, because I have no right to set your learning limits for you. This is Jesus speaking to you. I am willing to do so, because I have no right to set your learning limits for you. Like, I will wait until this lesson is learned. I will wait. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just letting you recognize, in fact, letting you recognize your own worth. Like, I stay with you until you recognize your own worth and see that reflected in me, in you, in everyone. You know, this is really the practice. So this is really practical in that sense. So this has everything to do. Am I worthy? Yes, of course. My worth is with, say, outside of discussion. My worth is a set deal, and this is what you want to feel too. It's like, well, how can you feel that? By not disputing it, by not starting to discuss it in your mind, not trying to analyze your behavior, if you're worthy of it or if you're worthy of whatever. No, you're completely worthy in all aspects of whatever you can think about yourself. So that is a very comforting message, and it is a lesson. So the lesson is then, if I accept this worth, like if I accept the worth of me, I also recognize the worth of my brother, and can reside there, I can tabernacle there, but that's in full recognition of each other's worth. Then you actually see where you came from. You know, it's like, yeah, that was established by God. Like, that is a done deal, that is set, and nothing to say about it. Luckily it is so. Now, when that happens, you could say you have overcome the world too, because the world will represent your doubt. The world will represent your unworthiness, because you're lacking something. Your ego mind will always tell you you're not quite there, that you need to practice more, or try harder, or be better, or try this, try that. In the meantime, having no opportunity to actually find what you're looking for, but just perpetuating the action of searching for. So, in fact, you could say recognizing your own worth is the end of the search. You know, it's the end of the searching. It's like it's right here. I have nothing to say about it. I'm going to accept that about myself. I'm letting go any kind of attempt of myself to dispute it, to discuss it, to doubt it. And this is the transformational process. You know, this is that. In fact, what we're doing is sinking down into the certainty of your own worth, you could say. So this was an essential part of, say, chapter 4b that we didn't finish yet. Last time we were busy with chapter 4b too, and now this was the tail of it, but one that's really great. And I didn't want to miss any of that either. So that's why I share it with you right now. So in fact, that is finished right now. Now, what are we going to do now? Let me see what we can do. There is a lesson that we can do, and maybe read it together. So is there? There's one lesson that say passes by in the workbook, probably 3 times, and maybe more, but that is this, and it's also in the book, like How About God and How to Find Him, that I just shared with you on the website. So it is in there 3 times, I think. But I will pull up the Urtext to read it straight out of it. And maybe it's nice to read this together, where at least the ones that want to participate in it, to read a paragraph of it and say, as an exercise in recognizing your own worth. So let's do that. Why not? Yeah, here it is. So I'll start with the first one, lesson 94, and then you just hop in, so to speak, when you feel ready for it or you want to do it. I am as God created me. Today we continue with the one idea which brings complete salvation. The one statement which makes all forms of temptation powerless. The one thought which renders the ego silent and entirely undone. You are as God created you. The sounds of this world are still. The sights of this world disappear, and all the thoughts which this world ever held are wiped away forever by this idea. Here is salvation accomplished. Here is sanity restored.
True light is strength, and strength is sinlessness. If you remain as God created you, you must be strong, and light must be in you. You who ensured your sinlessness must be the guarantee of strength and light as well. You are as God created you. Darkness cannot obscure the glory of the Son of God. You stand in light, strong in the sinlessness in which you were created and in which you will remain throughout eternity.
Aujourd'hui, nous allons à nouveau consacrer les 5 premières minutes de chaque heure de veiller à tenter de sentir la vérité en toi. Commence ces mots d'examen par les mots suivants. Je suis tel que tu m'as créé. Je suis son fils éternellement.
Maintenant, essaie d'atteindre le Fils de Dieu en toi. C'est le soi qui n'a jamais péché ni fait d'image pour remplacer la réalité. C'est le soi qui n'a jamais quitté sa demeure en Dieu pour parcourir le monde incertainement. C'est le soi qui ne connaît pas la peur et pour qui la perte ou la souffrance ou la mort serait inconcevable.
Nothing is required of you to teach this goal except to lay all idols and self-images aside, to go past the long list of attributes, both good and bad, you have ascribed to yourself, and wait in silent expectancy for the truth. God has himself promised that he be revealed to all who ask for it. You are asking now. You will not fail because he cannot fail.
If you do not meet the requirement of practicing for the first 5 minutes of every hour, at least remind yourself hourly, I am as God created me. I am his son eternally. Tell yourself frequently today that you are as God created you. And be sure to respond to anyone who seems to irritate you with these words. You are as God created you. You are his son eternally. Make every effort to do the hourly exercises today. Each one you do will be a giant stride toward your release and a milestone in learning the thought system which this course sets forth.
Thank you. So, there's more. So I'm going to skip to the next one. Yeah, here's 110. So I'd love to continue because of the say the fundamental part in it that we're actually looking at. Sorry for that. And the great thing with this is then here's an immediate say possibility to practice. So I'm continuing. I am as God created me. We will repeat today's idea from time to time, for this one thought would be enough to save you and the world if you believed that it is true. Its truth would mean that you have made no changes in yourself which have reality. So it's what we just read too. Like, its truth would mean that you made no changes in yourself which have reality, nor changed the universe so that what God created was replaced by fear and evil, misery and death. If you remain as God created you, fear has no meaning, evil is not real, and misery and death do not exist. So yeah, feel free to join.
L'idée
Today's
d'aujourd'hui,
idea Go ahead, Michelle.
Merci. L'idée d'aujourd'hui est donc tout ce dont tu as besoin pour laisser la complète correction guérir ton esprit et te donner la vision parfaite qui guérira toutes les erreurs faites en n'importe quel temps et en n'importe quel lieu, par n'importe quel esprit. Elle suffit pour guérir le passé et libérer le futur. Elle suffit pour laisser le présent être accepté tel qu'il est. Elle suffit pour laisser le temps être le moyen par lequel le monde entier apprend à échapper du temps, de chaque changement que le temps semble apporter en passant.
If you remain as God created you, appearances cannot replace the truth. Health cannot turn to sickness. Nor can death be substitute for life or fear for love. All this has not occurred if you remain as God created you. You need no thought but just this one to let redemption come to light the world and free it from the past.
This one thought is all the past undone, the present saved to quickly extend into a timeless future. If you are as God created you, then there has been no separation of your mind from His, no split between your mind and other minds, and only unity within your own.
Le pouvoir de guérison de l'idée d'aujourd'hui est illimité. Elle est le lieu où naissent tous les miracles. Le grand restaurateur de la vérité a la conscience du monde. Répète l'idée d'aujourd'hui avec gratitude. Voilà la vérité qui vient te rendre libre. Voilà la vérité que Dieu t'a promise. Voilà la parole dans laquelle prend fin tout chagrin.
For your 5-minute practice periods, begin with this quotation from the text. I am as God created me. His son can suffer nothing, and I am his son. Then, with this statement firmly in your mind, try to discover in your mind this self who is the Holy Son of God himself. Seek him within you who is Christ in you, the Son of God and brother to the world, the Savior who has been forever saved, with power to save whoever touches him, however lightly, asking for the word which tells him he is brother unto him.
You are as God created you. Today honor yourself. Let graven images you made to be the Son of God instead of what he is be worshipped another day. deep in your mind. The Holy Christ in you is waiting your acknowledgement as you, and you are lost and do not know yourself, while he is unacknowledged and unknown.
Seek him today and find him. He will be your savior from all idols you have made. For when you find him, you will understand how worthless are your idols and how false the images which you believed were you. Today we make a great advance to today we make a great advance to truth by letting idols go and opening our hands and hearts and minds to God today.
We will remember him throughout the day with thankful hearts and loving thoughts for all who meet with us today. For it is thus that we remember him, and we will say that we be reminded of his Son, our Holy Self, the Christ in each of us. I am as God created me. Let us declare this truth as often as we can. This is the word of God that sets you free. It is the key that opens up the gate of heaven and which lets you enter in the peace of God and his eternity. I am as God created me. That your worth is not established by you or by your neighbors or by your government or by any of these. It's like your worth is established by God. You have nothing to say about it in a very good sense. And I love that. So it's so great then to repeat this and share this with one another in reading this together. So thank you for participating in that. That is so great. And yeah, we continue with some music, with some relaxation, and allow this to become your experience. You know, that's the only thing. It's like, yeah, don't look for it too far. It's right here. No, you don't have to do anything for it to in fact allow yourself to be worthy. Like, no, that's already taken care of. So it's a matter of relaxing into that and seeing that, oh my God, I can believe it. I can believe it. I allow myself to be overwhelmed with my true essence, which is love. I allow myself today to be overwhelmed with love. And this is the day. This is great. This is, yeah, this is all that you need in that sense. This is given to you to experience today. So thank you for that. And we listen to music and see you soon. Thank you so much.